good? It's your boy Rich Notch.
Yo, I'm Brock Landers.
And this is Chop It Up Hip Hop. Today we're doing an album review. J. Cole, KOD.
King overdosed.
King overdose. What
Kids on drugs.
Kids on drugs and what? Kill all. What was it?
Kill
all demons.
Kill all demons.
Kill our demons.
Yep.
Our demons.
Kill our demons. Yep.
That's
It's probably a lot more meanings.
Yeah, I like how he did that though with the title and everything. It dropped today.
Yes.
There's a lot of buzz around it.
420. How ironic.
On 420 that it drops.
And the overall message is pretty much like drug addiction and stuff.
I didn't even think about that.
I think he did that on purpose.
Yo, it's great marketing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole how he the other day he did some show,
The surprise show
in New York.
Awesome.
Where everybody had to show up. Like you had a certain time, first come, first serve.
Mm-hmm.
No
Love
cell
it.
phones, none of that stuff you could bring inside.
A real fan experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then they said after he left there, I think he shot straight to London.
Yeah, because he did one in
He
London.
did one in London, a pop-up. So great marketing. His marketing team, great strategy to get the buzz popping, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So before we get to the rating of his album, I would like to give a shout out to the artist that not as popular as J. Cole, that got great projects out that just dropped recently right now.
There you go.
And want to start off with Smoke DZA, Not For Sale.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was listening to that today, loving it. What's the other one? Black Zombies.
Flatbush Zombies.
I said Black Zombies. Oh wow, that's Lost Tapes. Nah. Black Zombies Vacation in Hell album. Check it out.
Definitely.
And Bodega Bam's Poppy, the album. Y'all need to check that out too. And Jim Jones, Wasted Talent. Definitely a good album.
I was surprised.
Yes. Yeah,
it was good.
He surprised me. Jim Jones' best album by far. Out of his catalog, this is his best.
Yeah, I liked it.
So all y'all out there, I want y'all to check out those albums too. They might J. Cole, he's the most popular one right now, so you're not gonna hear about these other albums. They're gonna get swept under the rug. But definitely check out Smoke DZA album, Jim Jones, Flatbush Zombies, and Bodega Bam's.
Boom. Definitely check them out.
With that being said, let's get into this. Let's start dissecting this J. Cole album.
Right. As you know, we brought this up many times on the podcast. We weren't impressed, with For Your Eyes Only. So we felt like he needed a big rebound, a big redemption.
Big comeback. He needed it.
So what do you think?
Well, I listened to it a couple of times today. Like I said, it just came out today, so I gave it a couple of listens, and I think it's a good album. I think it's good.
I agree.
It's much better than For Your Eyes. What is it? For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, it's much better than For Your Eyes Only. But by saying that, that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Because For Your Eyes Only was terrible to me.
I don't think it was terrible.
Okay, let me take that back. It was just very boring, very dull.
Right.
It wasn't nothing to write home about. It was not what you call repeat worthy. Nothing I would keep in heavy rotation.
Right.
So it wasn't much for him to come back with a better album, which we know he has in him because of Forest Hill Drive and Born Sinner.
And the mixtapes.
And the mixtapes, yeah, the early mixtapes. Right. So this album was good, but it wasn't how I'm seeing online I don't think how people are raving about it. Like it's the best thing since sliced bread. They acting like
it's the hype train, man.
I mean, like you were saying earlier off air, you were saying how like Talib does music like this. Joey Badass did an album like this. Saha the Prince had an album like this last year,
right.
And nobody raves about it.
Right. Listen, I appreciate what he did. What he did was the theme of this is great, but it's like people choose when they want to listen to stuff like this. Like when it comes from other people, they don't care, but certain artists all of a sudden they they open their mind up to, and then all of a sudden they act like they're woke all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I'll get too deep into it. But I'm not trying to take anything away from what Cole's doing, but it's you fans out there, you're crazy.
Yeah. It's a good album, but if I see people leaving comments like, "Oh, this is Cole's best album," no, it's not even his second best album.
Nope.
There's no way in hell to me it's better than Born Center.
Nope.
That's his best album, and it's not better than Forest Hills Drive.
No,
not at all. So, like these are this is my beef with the album. I'm gonna hit the negative, then the positive.
You can do your synopsis and then the rating.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
He has no features. Okay, we get that, Cole. He did that before. No features. There's nothing wrong with having a few features, especially if the features compliment your style, and compliment the song. There's nothing wrong with that. Like having a Q-Tip, or I can hear him with a Most Def. It would be crazy. Definitely. Or Kendrick. Like, there's nothing wrong with a feature.
People need to stop being hypo if there's no feature thing. I get it, but now you're just running it to the ground.
Yeah.
Not saying to Cole, you freaking fans out there, you guys need to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing. Another thing is, I get it. He produced. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not 100%, but I think he produced this whole album again.
Yeah, because he usually produces all his own shit.
He did it.
Another reason why I really like him.
I respect that. Yeah. But with that being said, you're not that great of a producer. It's not like you're top 5 or top 10 producing wise. You're a decent producer,
right?
But you're not that type of producer where, like a Kanye, where he could produce for himself and make it crazy, make it hot to fit his style. It's like, okay, Cole, you produce for yourself, but I wouldn't mind hearing an outside producer, Kanye or who else would, like, you could see Cole over a beat.
I could see Cole definitely over like a
Just Blaze. I could see him over Blaze.
Yeah,
Just Blaze
Pete Rock beat.
Pete Rock.
A lot, because I think he has a huge range.
Yeah.
So I could hear him on like pretty much anybody, but definitely Q-Tip. I think him and a Q-Tip beat would fit perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I wouldn't mind. That's another thing. It's
Alchemist.
Like, yeah, you produce the whole thing. That's cool, but it's all right to get one of them ill producers to give you a little more flavor. That's what I think is missing. Just like the last album, For Your Eyes Only, the production was boring to me.
Right.
Besides, the bars to me wasn't bad on that album. It just wasn't nothing to me crazy. Right. And the production was very, very stale. Like, it was very dry.
Yeah, it's kind of like we talked about in the last episode, that he's very comfortable in his own skin, but it might be too comfortable. You know what I mean? Where, it's just like, to me, this was a better album, but it still kind of had the same feel as the For Your Eyes Only. I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but then I would say, to me, lyrically, this album was better.
Way better.
Way better lyrically.
The concept was better, too.
Yeah, the concept was definitely better. And at least on this album, it did have one song to really get me hyped. 4 Years Only, there was no song on there that made me want to rewind or play again.
What was the song here that you really liked?
What was it, 1985?
Oh.
1985,
yeah.
The last song. That song, as soon as it went off, I right back, played it again.
Nice.
Then I played it again.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And the thing with that song is, like how you said, we bring up like the same people that's loving this song. Where he was explain how you was explaining it.
Well, I see a lot of comments how everybody is so in love with this song, how he's calling out these young rappers, like, especially with the love and hip hop line, pretty much schooling them that you're hot now, but you're not gonna be hot forever. And everybody's, oh man, you heard what Cole said, this and that. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Real hip hop, this and that. Yo, in the same breath, y'all co-sign the shit he's talking about. So y'all hip hop or not, you want to co-sign what these young kids is doing. But when Cole says something like, schooling them like against it, everybody's raving the hip hop flag all of a sudden.
Yeah,
you can't say one thing and the other. Like, come on, which one is it?
Yeah,
and it's mostly all these radio personalities, the guys on TV, like they're praising this song. Which, listen, it deserves praise because I like it a lot. But they're praising it. But the week before, you're sitting there saying, "Oh, you need to like these little yachties and that. They're good. They're making money.
Give them a chance.
They get money. They get money. Everything is we get money." I'm sick of that shit.
You're absolutely right.
It's just like they get money. But now Cole says something about it, and it's like, "Ooh, hallelujah, Cole! Let me jump on my knees."
You're absolutely right.
But go back to your
yeah. So 1985 intro to The Fall Off. That's the whole title of the song. That's my favorite song by far on this
Which
album.
one?
1985.
Okay.
Intro to the Fall Off. That's my favorite song. It's 10 songs. It says 12 tracks, but one's an intro, then it's an interlude on here. So basically it's 10 songs. So out of 10 songs, I would say I like 7. Like I said, it's a good album. Either 6 to 7 songs I like. But the songs I like, this is the difference. There's no songs that really, besides the 1985 and maybe one other song, that really makes me want to hear it again and again, and I'm going to listen to it again.
It wasn't that head knocking.
Yeah, it made me really bop my head and like, oh, like.
Makes you make that face like you licked the whole thing of adobo. Like, wasn't that one song, right? It made you make that face like.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Like, Born Sinner, he gave me a few of those songs from the intro. He gave me them songs that made me crunch my, like, and I mean, and Forest Hills Drive even gave me that feel on a few songs. But yeah, this album, like I said, it's 7. I like about 6 or 7 makes, either 6 to 7 out of 10. So it's a good album. Definitely. Like I said, we're not knocking Cole's album. We just want people to calm down. Like, calm down, people.
We're in the hype beast generation.
Yeah, please just calm down.
But let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Would you consider this his redemption album? Did he redeem himself?
Slightly.
Yeah,
slightly. He's not fully. And this is another thing, real quick, before I forget. I hate when people say, I told somebody, I'm like, yeah, I like it's a good album, but I was like, nowhere near Kendrick's album. Damn, Kendrick's last album. They say, oh, why people always got to compare rappers, why whatever. Whoa, it's hip hop. We've been doing that from day one. Rappers compare their albums to each other. That's what made it all interesting back in the days, and that's why it was so good in the 90s, because everybody was competing.
Right.
You don't think Jay was listening to Nas' album or Nas was listening to Jay last album and trying to outdo each other?
Right.
That's what makes it great.
State the same thing with sports. Like, these guys hate each other back in the day. Now everybody's buddy, and that's why the competition isn't that great.
Yeah, that's corny. So of course I'm gonna compare it, and like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from either artist. I like both of them.
Right.
But I'm gonna compare because not only I'm gonna compare because it's hip hop, but because they're both in the same lane.
Right. And another to double on your what you're saying is, because people are making out to just be like such a great album, you gotta say, well, if this album's so great, then what the hell is Damn? You know, so like you're putting it in perspective.
Yeah.
When you do that, when you compare, you're kind of putting in perspective. Like, hold up, before you sit there and give this the greatest album of all time, is it better than this? Is it better than that?
Yeah.
You got to put people in perspective, and then that's when they start stuttering and making up excuses.
People are so much fans of these people. There's nothing wrong with being fans of their music, but we can't give everything a pass. We can't give everything a classic title just because we like their past stuff. Like, my favorite artists, I'm not giving a pass if they put out something. And it's another thing. Streams, shout out to Streams, but he be bugging sometimes. He asked me, oh, so what are you comparing it to? Like, when I said, like, what would you compare it to? This before the album came out. And I was like, oh, I hope it's good, because like his last album wasn't. So I hope it's good. He goes, but what are you going to be comparing it to? He said, his work or what? I'm like, yeah, I'm comparing it to the good stuff he put out. I'm comparing it to that, and I'm comparing it to great albums that came out in his lane.
Right.
Like the Damn album, Pimp a Butterfly, Joey Badass album, Saha the Prince.
444.
Yeah, 444. All them people that's basically in that line. I'm not gonna compare him to like a Uncle Murder album, because it's a different lane. I mean, you could, but it's just kind of different. Right. But when you comparing it to other great albums that's all in that same lane, Tribe Called Quest last album, I would compare it to, because it's slightly conscious, slightly fun. I would compare it to that.
Right.
To a Drake, to a Kanye album.
Right.
They all in the same. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They all
the
in the
same caliber. They're the same tier.
Yeah, they the same tier.
Yeah.
Not saying, oh, because some people probably be like, oh, you trying to say Joey Badass is just as good or Sky Zoo is just as good as. No, understand, idiots. I'm saying that they're all in the same tier as far as that lane in hip hop. Right. They talk about it, everything. So it's easy to compare.
Right.
So to me, the best albums that's coming out as of the past few years was the Kendrick in that category.
Right.
So I'm gonna compare it to that. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Do you think this album's better than YG's album? No, not YG. Was it YG?
Nipsey Hussle. Victory Lap? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
I
so
still
either.
think Nipsey Hussle. I think Victory Lap is the best album so far this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, do I think this is probably second runner up right now? What else came out? Not a
I
lot
like
came out this
Mayhem
year.
Loren shit better.
Oh, Mayhem Loren came out, but see, that's a different kind of hip hop
It's a
too.
different lane. Yeah,
That's a different lane. That's like comparing a
But-
Red Man back in the days to a.
Okay.
I
see what you're
you
saying.
get what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
see what you're
It's
saying.
kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of different.
But I will say this though, I still listen to Mayhem's album, though the last one.
Yeah.
Not the one with Muggs, just the new
The one that just dropped.
And I think down the line I'm gonna keep listening to it. This album, I don't know. That's to be determined.
So you don't think this is gonna be like heavy rotation, or you don't think you're gonna revisit it a month from now?
I'll
Play it straight
when
through.
I do my synopsis, I'll get back to that. You know what I mean? But so yeah, continue your synopsis.
All right, so basically on a 1 to 10, we had the category before, like what a 6 means. A 6 means decent, right?
6 means decent.
7 means
7 means 7 was very good. You know, a few mishaps. Like 10 was a masterpiece. 9 was excellent, exceptional, with like one tiny little minor thing about it. 8
9 was like a classic. Yeah, 10
Yeah,
was a masterpiece.
yeah.
9 was a classic.
Yeah, 9 was classic. 8 was excellent with like a couple mishaps here and there. 7 was very good with, you know, a few more mishaps. 6 was decent, like a decent album, nothing to go crazy over, but decent. 5 was it needs work. You know, it had its spots. 4 was 4. Come on, man. Come on.
So
son.
it's like 3 was
3 was it got some joints.
we got some joints. 2 was
2 was laughable and 1 was trash.
okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna give KOD a 7.
Okay. Good album with a, you know.
Yeah, good album.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a 7. And my standout tracks, like I said, my favorite track I already said is 1985. But the other songs I do like, let me see. I like Kevin's Heart. I know you said you ain't care for that one. I like Brackets. Wait, do I like Brackets? I don't really remember. I like
That's
Kevin.
my favorite.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's I like Brackets. I like Friends. I like Window Pane. Definitely, yeah. Window Pane was one of my favorites after 1985 when he talk about his moms and everything.
Right, that was great.
Of course, 1985 I like The Cutoff, featuring Kill Edward, but that's J. Cole just changing his voice up from what I heard.
Right.
It's not a real artist. It says he got 2 featuring Kill Edwards, and it's basically J. Cole. And to y'all that don't know, because I already heard some people saying, acting like he's the first one to do that. He's not the first one to do that. It's been done before.
Give me the loot.
Yeah, give me the loot, Biggie. Nas did it on Street Disciple when the girl was rhyming. He had the girl's voice rhyming. She had A's and everything.
Yep.
And people thought it was a female rapping. It was really Nas.
Yeah.
And they changed the voice. So
It's been done multiple times.
yeah, it's been done multiple times. That's just like real quick how with Kendrick had the concept album and people was acting like that was the first.
Oh, I think
he was the first to do that.
Yep.
Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, it wasn't the first to do something like that. But yeah. So and you said you didn't like the KOD track?
Nope. Didn't like the beat. Didn't like the way he was flowing.
I like the KOD.
And to me, he wasn't. That was like the one song to me he really wasn't saying much. The rest of the album.
Well, yeah. Well, the KOD, yeah. I don't think that was one of those.
Even the songs I didn't like, he was talking some shit. KOD to me, all around wasn't a good song. I don't like it.
So my songs I like real quick. I like The Cutoff. I like Brackets. I like Friends. I like Window Pane. I like 1985. And I like Kevin's Heart. So that's basically 6 songs, 6 out of 10.
All right, that's good.
Yeah. But like I said, even the songs I like, it's not my. I don't know. I hold him in a higher standard,
Very high standard.
which I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Right.
For us to say we hold somebody, that means they earned
Right.
our respect in hip hop.
Right.
I mean, some of y'all probably be like, our respect don't matter. Hey, listen, we don't hold a lot of people in a high standard. So I hold Cole in a higher standard, and I think he could have did an even better job. But it's good. Like, listen to it, listen for yourself, give your opinion.
Right.
It's not a waste of time. Put it like that.
No, Definitely.
It's definitely not a waste of time.
Definitely.
And the
not.
bars are there. He's
Yeah.
So go ahead, give your rating.
All right. To me, see, when I first listened to it this morning, the first half of the album, I was pissed off. I was like, here we go again. I'll tell you right now, I like the cutoff. I think that's track 4. But the first half of the album, I didn't care for until Brackets. From Brackets on, I liked every single song. So that's 5 songs. Wait, Once an Addict, that's just an interlude? That's not a song?
Yeah, Once an Addict, I believe that's just
from Brackets on, I liked what I heard. So that's 5. And then I liked the cutoff 6. Didn't like KOD. Didn't care for Photograph. Really don't care for ATM, and that's a single. Motivate, didn't care for. Didn't care for Kevin Todd either. Even though all these songs, though, I did like what he was saying. But you're queuing
actually,
it up?
Actually, it was.
Yes, because I know
it's a little bit.
Once it hit Brackets, I liked the album.
Okay,
but
so you probably like Once an Addict.
Yes, yep, and the cutoff was good. So that's what is that 6 out of 11, right?
It's 10.
6 out of 10.
Well, 6 out of 11.
Because
Once an Addict is actually a song.
I like the album. I really love the message. This is why I respect J. Cole. Like, he's an artist. Like, he don't care about sales or whatever. Like, he's gonna make what he wants to make, what he feels needs to be made. So I can't knock a man for doing that. It might not come across on our ears very well, you know what I mean? But he's doing what he wants to do. He's actually, he's being a leader. Like, people could look up to him. People, aspiring artists, see that he's doing it his own way. And it's like, you know what? I don't have to make trap music. I don't have to make drug music. You know what I mean? He's coming out with albums with no features, does his own beats, and, he's not trying to, get the hot buzz or whatever. So you gotta respect a guy like that. I really loved Window Pane, about his mom's troubles and stuff after a breakup. I could kind of relate to that. It kind of hit home.
That's my second favorite, Window Pane.
1985, we already talked about. Great freaking song. I love how he broke it down, because it wasn't like he was dissing people, but he was like schooling them, but at the same time like showing them their reality. Yeah, what's coming. Yeah. So don't stop feeling yourselves. I really love Brackets. When he was talking about where the money goes for the taxes and all that was genius. Yeah. I love how he broke it down about paying taxes and all this stuff, and the history books, how they're telling you lies. Genius song, Brackets. Now to I guess the negatives. I love these songs so much because of what he was talking about. The beats though wasn't it didn't have that knocking feeling. There wasn't that one beat I'm like, oh man. Yeah. But it's just like you just sitting there like, okay, this is decent. But once he starts talking, it takes the song to a whole nother level. Which, you know what? Gotta give him credit for that. That's not too much of a negative. What else?
The production wasn't bad, but I get what you're saying. It could have been a.
I made a joke to you earlier. Like, I'm gonna start calling him Coffee Shop Cole. It sounds like he just wants to make music for people that sit in coffee shops and sips on coffee while they're on their laptops.
Lattes.
I could picture this and the last album being played like a Williamsburg coffee shop.
I feel you.
And people just listening man,
with their laptop out. Using the Wi-Fi.
Freaking hipsters. I have a feeling this is going to be the rest of his career. The albums are going to sound like this. If you're looking for big features, that's not happening. If you're looking for big production, it's not happening.
If you're looking for a Born Center type feel, I don't think it's going to happen.
Those days are gone.
But then people hear you say that. Then people will say, "Oh, why would he's moving on? Why would he go back? Why would he regress?" It's not going back.
We're not saying it has to sound like Born Center.
Exactly.
We're just saying like these are sounding similar now. His sound, it's a very similar sound. It's not it's kind of like a very slow, very moody, dark sound. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But some people might like it. That's his sound now. Drake got his sound.
I could fart on a microphone as a beat, and he'll do an album over it, and people are gonna freaking be like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!
Yeah.
He made an album on Brock farting. I think one of the parts of the beat sounded like he actually wet himself. Yo, it was so crazy. J. Cole's the best in the world."
Yeah, his fans are J. Cole fans are they a bit much. For lack of a better word, they a bit much.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I definitely loved the theme. I loved the issues he addressed. It needed to be addressed in the right way. I think he did it in such a great way. Because I know when your mom tells you don't do that when she's yelling at you, it's like you don't want to listen because of the way she talked to you.
Yeah.
I think the way he addressed the certain issues, he did it in a great way where people actually listen. Like, yo, you know what? He's right. With the drugs, the money, like all the issues he talked about through this album. He did it a great way, I thought.
You know what? I'm gonna change my rating. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I'm gonna change my rating.
Okay.
Because as I'm looking as we talking and everything, I'm playing back in my mind certain songs. I'm looking at the track list. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely give it, because like you said, the second half of the album
Was phenomenal.
from brackets from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, brackets down is really good. Before brackets, it's okay. The cutoff, like I said, the cutoff is my favorite song before brackets. ATM, for some reason, everybody loves ATM. I'm already
because it's a
hearing
video. So everybody.
Even before they put the video out, people were saying ATM. I don't know. KOD, I heard a lot of people like KOD too. I really don't have no beef with KOD,
That's the only
but it's
song
not one of my favorite.
Like I really don't.
Oh, you don't like? I really don't like Motivate. Motivate.
Yeah.
I don't like Motivate. I don't like that song at all. Kevin's Heart, you said you don't like at all.
I don't care.
I ain't like it at first,
bad, but it's like
I listened to it again. I was like, I kind of like this Kevin's Heart.
Oh, another thing, I think I listened to his album twice.
Okay.
What I notice about he does a lot on this album though, like he repeats a lot of stuff for a long time, and it takes up like 2 minutes of the song, and it's not the hook. I'm like, why is he doing that? It's kind of like dumbing it down, where he like just chants stuff, and it's not part of the chorus. Does that a lot in this album.
Okay. Well, like I said, we just hold it to higher standards, and all his peers that's in his lane, from the Rhapsodies to the like, we compare it to that to come up with our ratings and everything, and the way we view the album.
My rating, I don't know yet. It's like,
so what you gonna give it? What's your rating? 1 to 10?
I'm a
10 masterpiece, 9 classic.
6.5 to a 7. You know what it is? Because like I said, I didn't like the first half of the album, but the second half was so strong.
But you did like one song in the first half.
Yeah, the cutoff.
The cutoff. I like the cutoff. I mean,
I think I'm gonna go
out of 11 songs. You said you like 6.
6.
I think I like 7 out of 11.
Right. I don't know, because I feel like 7, we said, was very good. Like I think it's good, but because we're talking about the whole album.
Yeah.
Now, I really like the second half of it. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know if I should give it a 7. I'm thinking 6.5, 7. I don't know. The first couple listens, I'm giving 6.5.
Okay.
Maybe down the road we'll revise it.
My first listen, I gave it a 7 right off the bat, and then as of now, as I'm looking at it again, I played it a couple of times, but then while I was playing it, I had to take a break, and I played Smoke DZA. I played Flatbush Zombies album, and it made me feel a little, even though it's different kind of hip hop. But then I was like, let me go back to Cole now. Right. So I played it like throughout the day, and 7.5. Okay, I'm sticking with that. Shout out to Cole.
Yeah, shout out to Cole.
Like, I can't keep getting on you no more, because the last album that was, you let me down.
Yeah, I think
you let me down.
Definitely down the road, he's gonna be looked at as like an artist. He's definitely
he is now. He's an artist. He's a true artist.
They're gonna like how people look at like certain people, like not about the fame or hit records, like how they just look at their art and like praise them. Like I think he's gonna be that guy. I honestly do.
Over Kendrick?
Like
Kendrick.
See, that's the thing. Now it's like, it's gonna be a comparing. It's
Kendrick hasn't dropped the bad album.
It's gonna be like Mike versus Prince. Prince was the musical guy, but Mike was the entertainer with the hits.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like that. Even though Kendrick, Kendrick is the artist too, but it's crazy.
Kendrick dropped songs here and there I didn't care for, but far as body of work project, he has yet to drop a project that I could say I really don't like or wasn't impressed with at all, or he hasn't done that yet.
Not yet at all.
Cole, 2 albums I didn't like at all. His first album, where everybody want to blame it on the label, whatever they was forcing him to do it. Okay, whatever. It still goes down in his catalog. First album I didn't like. For My Eyes Only I didn't like, but he redeemed himself with this album.
Yeah,
and his mixtapes was hard in the beginning.
The message was very good and very clear.
Yeah. Well, like you said before, y'all fans out there, y'all listeners, y'all say y'all love music, y'all say y'all love hip hop. Just have your own mind. Stick to your guns.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of comments too. People saying this is his best album by far. Come on, you're too caught up in the moment. Take a step back, breathe through in your nose, out your mouth.
Yeah,
think about it. Is this better than Born Sinner? Is this better than Forest Hills Drive?
I just don't like how just because somebody say something, they could make you change your whole thought process. Right. Then a month from now, some other crap will come out and you'll go right back to like.
Right.
It's okay to like different forms of hip hop. I could like the ratchet stuff.
Right.
I like some of KOD album. Some of it I actually rock with a little bit of it, and I can only take it in doses. I can't take too much of that, and that's it. Then I could appreciate an album like this too. So don't think we're only one minded, like we stuck in one zone. We're not. We actually expand our minds. My thing is, whatever lane you in, make the best out of it. Make the best music in that lane.
There you go. Yeah.
KOD, I don't feel she made the best music she could make in that lane she was in.
No, definitely.
Even though people acting like it is. Cole, I don't feel with this album he made the best, but he came almost close, but I don't think he made the best.
The message was like, For Your Eyes Only was a story about. It was like such a what's the word I'm looking for? A isolated incident that he was doing. Like looking through like his friend's daughter's eyes or something like that, whatever the concept was. It was like isolated, so you really couldn't relate to it. This one, like the message, you could relate to a lot of it. It was a few different topics, but overall about drugs and all that. This was very good, I thought. Very good concept.
It was a good concept. But on that note, I give it a 7.5. Brock said he give it a
6.5 right now.
6.5 right now.
Yep.
We'll revisit it probably in another month, and we're going to just see.
Right.
We're going to do an episode where we revisit, see if it's the same, if it went lower, higher. Are we still even listening to it? Because a lot of people say, I don't sit with no album. I know somebody that always say that. I don't listen to no album more than twice.
I'm too cool for that.
Yeah, you're too cool for that. You're not really a fan of hip-hop or a fan of music at that. Because if an album's good, you don't have to listen to it every single day of your life, but you're going to revisit that album if it's good, and you're going to listen to it straight through, no skipping. It's going to give you a good feel again, whatever album it is.
I agree.
So, all right. So, until what?
Before that, next week we're going to have our episode. We got a guest named Mac. Who
that might not be next week. We're going to fit it in. We got it coming up.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's going to be a 2-parter because we had a very long debate.
Yeah.
He's claiming that Drake is the best of all time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we do not co-sign with anything he said in that episode. I'm going to put that out there right now. Chop It Up Hip Hop does not endorse, co-sign.
Listen, he just brought it up to Notch, and we said, okay, we gotta hit record on his crazy, all his crazy theories. It was like, all right, we'll hit record and let's debate.
Yeah, and
that's how it came to be. It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. It definitely wasn't planned. And if anybody out there, if you have something like y'all want to get off your chest or a big statement, and y'all want to come up and discuss it with us, debate with us about anything, let us know. Email us. chopituphiphop@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Or Twitter. Hit us on the Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
At Chop It Up Hip Hop.
At Chop It Up Hip Hop Twitter. So give out the
yes, sir.
You can check us on Google Play, iTunes,
Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher
app,
Podbean,
YouTube.
You know what I mean? Also, we got a SoundCloud page now. If you haven't already, check out our Boot Camp Tribute mix by DJ Majesty.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have soon the the 420 playlist, the 420 mix by DJ Majesty.
Yeah.
Smoke something and listen to that shit.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's what it is, man.
And you can follow Brock on IG.
Yep. Chop it up _ Brock, BROCK.
And you can follow me, Rich_Notch. That's Rich_Notch, NOTCH on IG.
Yes, sir.
And hope y'all enjoyed the review. Let us know what y'all think, what y'all feel about the album. If y'all think it's
Let us
classic,
know we bugging.
if y'all think we out our fucking mind, if y'all think,
I think that's gonna be the overall thing that we're just.
I think that I have a feeling. I can feel it.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers
The
is
wrath is coming.
Yeah, they delusional. They don't know what they listening to.
Just call them coffee shop Cole for.
Yeah. Shout out to J. Cole, man.
Shout out to J. Cole.
So, like we always say, stay fit and keep it hip hop.
Peace.
Peace.